The Edmonton Oilers are a professional ice hockey team based in Edmonton. The Oilers compete in the National Hockey League, NHL, as a member of the Pacific Division of the Western Conference. They play their home games at Rogers Place, which opened in 2016. Chris Knorplauk is the head coach as of November 12, 2023, and Ken Holland was named general manager on May 7, 2019. The Oilers are one of two NHL franchises based in Alberta, the other being the Calgary Flames. Their proximity has led to a fierce rivalry known as the Battle of Alberta. The Oilers were founded in 1971 by W.D. Wild Bill Hunter and Dr. Chuck Allard and played its first season in 1972 as one of the 12 founding franchises of the major professional World Hockey Association, WHA. They were intended to be one of two WHA Alberta teams and the Calgary Broncos. However, when the Broncos relocated and became the Cleveland Crusaders before the WHA's first season began, the team was named the Alberta Oilers. They were renamed the Edmonton Oilers the following year and subsequently joined the NHL in 1979 as one of four franchises absorbed through the NHL-WHA merger. After joining the NHL, the Oilers went on to win the Stanley Cup on 5 occasions: 1983-84, 1984-85, 1986-87, 1987-88, and 1989-90. Along with the Pittsburgh Penguins, they are tied for the most championships won by any team since the NHL-WHA merger, as well as the most won by any team that joined the league in or after 1967. Among all NHL teams, only the Montreal Canadiens have won the Stanley Cup more times since the league's 1967 expansion. The Oilers also won 6 straight division titles from 1981-82 through 1986-87. Notably, however, the Oilers have not won a division title since 1987, a drought that includes their most recent 2 Stanley Cup wins and is the longest division title drought in all of the North American major professional sports. For their overall success in the 1980s and early 1990s, the Oilers team of this era has been honored with Dynasty, Broken Anchor, status by the Hockey Hall of Fame. The Oilers began to struggle after coming up short in their most recent trip to the Stanley Cup Finals in 2006, missing the playoffs for the subsequent 10 seasons. The Oilers have made 12 first-round selections in the NHL entry draft since 2007, 10 within the first 10 picks overall, 6 within the first 4 picks, and 4 the first overall selections. With those first overall picks, Edmonton selected Taylor Hall, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Nail Yakupov and Connor McDavid. Of these, Nugent-Hopkins and McDavid remain with the team as of 2024. On November 1, 1971, the Edmonton Oilers became one of the 12 founding WHA franchises. The original owners were Wild Bill Hunter, 1920-2002, and partner, Dr. Charles Chuck Allard, 1919-1991, father of Vancouver lawyer Peter Allard who, a decade later, also brought the SCTV sketch comedy TV series to Edmonton. Hunter also owned the Edmonton Oil Kings, a junior hockey franchise, and founded the Canadian Major Junior Hockey League, now known as the Western Hockey League, WHL. Hunter's efforts to bring major professional hockey to Edmonton via an expansion NHL franchise had been rebuffed by the NHL. So, he looked to the upstart WHA instead. It was Hunter who chose the Oilers name for the new WHA franchise. This was a name that had previously been used as a nickname for the Edmonton Oil Kings in the 1950s and 1960s. Hunter also served as head coach during 1972-73, 1974-75 and 1975-76 seasons. After the newly founded Calgary Broncos folded before the commencement of the inaugural WHA season, the Oilers were renamed the Alberta Oilers as it was planned to split their home games between Edmonton and Calgary. possibly for financial reasons or to allow for a less complicated return of the WHA to Calgary, though, the team ultimately played all of its home games in the Edmonton Gardens and changed its name back to the Edmonton Oilers the following year. They won the first game in WHA history 7-4 over the Ottawa Nationals. The Oilers drew fans with players such as defenseman and team captain Al Hamilton, goaltender Dave Dryden and forwards Blair MacDonald and Bill Flett. However, a relatively little-noticed move in 1976 had an important impact on the history of the franchise. That year, journeyman forward Glenn Sather was acquired by the Oilers. It turned out to be his final season as a player and he was named player-coach late in the season, moving to the bench full-time after the season. Sather was the coach or general manager of the Oilers for the next 23 years. Although the Oilers' on-ice performance for most of the WHA's history was mediocre, they remained well supported and financially stable by WHA standards. In 1976, Hunter and Allard sold the franchise to Vancouver real estate tycoon Nelson Scalbania, who later became notorious for flipping property, both real and franchised. Scalbania soon made local businessman Peter Pocklington a full partner, then sold his shares to him the following year. The team's fortunes improved dramatically in 1978, when Pocklington acquired underage player Wayne Gretzky, as well as goaltender Eddie Mio and forward Peter Driscoll, for cash, from Scalbania's recently folded Indianapolis Racers. His first year of WHA experience prevented Gretzky from being an official 1979-80 NHL rookie. His first and only WHA season, 1978-79, saw the Oilers finish first in the WHA standings, posting a league-best 48-32 record. However, Edmonton failed to win the championship, as they fell to the Winnipeg Jets in the Avco World Trophy Final. Dave Semenko of the Oilers scored the last goal in WHA history in the third period of the final game, which they lost 7-3. The Oilers joined the NHL for 1979-80, along with fellow WHA teams Hartford Whalers, Quebec Nordique and the Jets following a merger agreement between the two leagues. Of these four teams, only Edmonton has avoided relocation and renaming. The Nordique became the Colorado Avalanche in 1995, the Jets became the Phoenix Coyotes in 1996 and the Whalers became the Carolina Hurricanes in 1997. Please like, subscribe, and comment on the next video you want to see.